Welcome to The Cause Effect, with your host, Carl Kozlowski, and his team of correspondents, bringing you the world's bad news badly. And now, Carl Kozlowski.
Thank you very much, or as Carl might say, hello, Earthlings. Carl is out on a day, but I am Dr. David Robinson in the captain's chair for this soon-to-be thrilling episode of The Cause Effect. Joining us on the panel, as always, the black voice of reason, Mr. Time and Ship.
Power here again on this fine Saturday.
It is.
And what?
That's all.
Good lead-in. God, that was great.
Yeah.
And coming in also from the left, our feminist Wonder Woman, Erica Schickel.
Wonder Woman, here to fight off another big bag of dicks.
Good to have you. Thank you for being here. And joining us, our special guest, I do the political intro. Well, first, Mr. Mark Selzer, ladies and gentlemen. Very happy to have you here.
Welcome,
with us.
Mark. Welcome,
Thank
baby.
you.
To the Viper's Nest.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, Carl.
Try not to offend everyone.
Well, that's,
Or I'll try to
that's what
offend
makes
everyone.
the show exciting.
There you go.
It's finding that zen of offending anyone without trying.
Right.
But Carl tells me you are a libertarian.
I am.
Falling on the conservative side of things.
No, I'm actually falling on the liberal side of things. But it doesn't really matter if you're a libertarian because you don't really want the government to do all that much, whether you're liberal or conservative. You don't want the government to decide to take control of the government and force its way on, the other side. It's just the country is supposed to be big enough for all of us, There's supposed to be a church that performs gay marriage and a church that doesn't, and be able to say, you all should be this way, you all should be that way,
I fully understand that. Sadly, people tend to get in the way of that. So There you have it. All right. Well, as we always do, with a look back at the week we were. So, taking a look around the world, Chinese President Xi Jinping has been named the core of the Chinese Communist Party. Insiders believe Jinping was named the party's core on the strength and popularity of his campaign slogan, "That's what she said." Xi Jinping. Vladimir Putin said this week that the U.S. isn't a banana republic, but experts in international relations say he's just trying to draw attention away from Russia's old navy. Two stores, same corporate owner. Yeah, I guess there's a gap somewhere in between.
Yeah, I think it's more.
Hi-oh. The New York Times this week reported that Islamic State militants were driving hundreds of Iraqis into Mosul to be used as human shields, which explains why Islamic State militants make the worst Uber drivers. Belgian Walloons this week shut down a proposed Canada-EU trade deal, saying Canada was twisting their words presumably into the shapes of animals. Walloon animals. Closer to home, asked why they're using pepper spray and beanbag guns on Native Americans protesting the Dakota Access oil pipeline. North Dakota authorities said it's because nobody sells those blankets with the smallpox anymore. A truck transporting marijuana edibles caught fire while crossing the Delaware Bridge, shutting down traffic between Delaware and New Jersey. People weren't surprised to hear that a truck full of pot candy shut down a bridge into New Jersey because last time a bridge got shut down, it was by Chris Christie.
We got it.
Thank you. Women in Rhode Island staged a yoga pants protest after a man wrote a letter to the local paper saying women shouldn't wear yoga pants in public. While most people said they supported the protest, others declined, saying it was really too much of a stretch.
Maybe women just shouldn't wear pants in public.
That's a very popular view among some parts.
I'm launching a controversial camel. I actually think I agree with the guy that women shouldn't wear yoga, but not for the same reasons.
They sell. I know about these things because I read too much, but I guess you can't really call them panty shields because that name's already taken.
Yeah.
But like basically a cup
nice,
for women.
Yeah.
To prevent camel toe.
Really?
Or
Yeah.
Why would
wearing
you
yoga
want to
pants.
prevent a camel toe?
There's
I don't know. Maybe it
It's
just
gross.
gets all up in your craw.
It's uncomfortable, and who needs to see that?
There's,
That's nasty.
there's also something that sexuals and other transgender people can wear that is a fake artificial camel toe that fits over the penis.
Oh.
See?
When
See?
Moose Knuckle just isn't doing the job, get yourself a camel toe.
Oh, my God.
Back to the news. White Mississippi high school students put a noose around a black football player's neck earlier this week, or as Donald Trump called it, they engaged in locker room talk.
Yes.
A man dressed as a tree was arrested in Portland, Maine earlier this week after standing in the middle of the street and blocking traffic. Local police said it wasn't so much that he was, as the fact that he kept asking passersby if they wanted to swing on. Hi-oh. A new survey says that American respect for police has reached its highest level in 50 years. So remember, kids, people will always say their only other option is getting killed by you. Grow on. 20 people were injured at O'Hare Airport in Chicago when an American Airlines plane caught fire after blowing a tire. While acknowledging that the fire was regrettable, the satisfied tire said, still totally worth it. On the campaign trail, the Las Vegas Review-Journal has endorsed Donald Trump for president. His first newspaper endorsement. Owner Sheldon Adelson says Trump doesn't have to win the election, he just has to cover the spread.
Yeah.
It's Vegas, baby. Vegas. At a rally last weekend, Donald Trump said he has record numbers, of male supporters, but he wants to set records with women, which isn't out of the realm of possibility, but he'll have to hurry if he ever hopes to catch up with Bill Cosby's ginormous lead.
Yes.
Yikes. Also, thought this was kind of interesting. Former Congressman and current talk radio host Joe Walsh said this week that if Donald Trump isn't elected, he's going to grab his musket. But if Walsh was a woman, Trump would have grabbed his musket for him without even waiting because he's a star. I wonder if, I guess you could call it blessed with the same name as, two celebrities. David Robinson, former player for the San Antonio Spurs.
Lost on me, but okay.
Also, David Robinson, drummer from the Cars, Modern Lovers.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one I get.
There you go.
That's one to be proud of.
For me, yeah, it's it's kind of awesome. I'm sure there are some things they might object to, but I don't think I've ever done anything that would lead either of them to go, oh, no, I'm not that David Robinson. Whereas like Joe Walsh,
Sure.
former Eagle, but then he got better. This guy has to be driving him nuts.
Oh
Just knowing that there's someone out there with your name.
There's a famous other Mark Selzer online that writes books about serial killers. So Selzer that writes books about serial killers.
See, based on our pre-show conversation, I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, didn't I hear you referencing the Black
Right.
Dahlia
We were
earlier?
talking a lot about
Right.
Manson and Hollywood murders.
I do know a little bit of murderabilia here and there, slightly above average. I don't watch the serial killer channel all day like some people do, but I have been known to dabble.
Which serial killer channel? Fox News?
I don't know. It's the there's a channel. I
MSNBC?
think I'm not sure what it is. It's like A&E or whatever, and they have
all
serial
that, right.
killer documentaries just all day long, and those crime shows just all day. And for some reason, their audience is like 80 or 90% female, too. Just I've known women that just watch that all day, and it just makes them paranoid.
It's kind of disturbing.
It is.
So there's enough fear out there. You don't need to sit at home and take it all in at once. VP candidate Mike Pence's campaign plane slid off the runway while landing at LaGuardia Airport earlier this week. The pilot said he had gotten instructions to abort the landing when Pence ran into the cockpit screaming, "Never!"
Hey, nice try, Hillary. Sorry it didn't pan out.
Someone said, "Well, hey, I don't believe it, but at least nobody was injured."
Yeah.
And I couldn't help but think that Pence had to be bummed a little bit. I didn't need to get killed.
Yeah.
I just needed to get hurt enough to get off this ticket.
Yeah, close only counts in horseshoes, Hillary.
All up in your business news, AT&T said this week that buying Time Warner would allow them to advance innovation in advertising. Because usually when people complain about AT&T and Time Warner, they're complaining that their advertising just isn't innovative enough. I know that's my big issue.
No.
Apple's. Yeah, focus on some other stuff. I think your customers can make you a list. Apple CEO Tim Cook said this week that he thinks technology could revolutionize the car experience. And considering how much more exciting it's gotten since texting while driving became a thing, I think he might be onto something. Mm-hmm. Volkswagen's emissions settlement was approved by a judge this week, upsetting Zionists who said, oh, sure, Palestinians don't want Israelis settling in the West Bank, but they're cool with Volkswagen emissions. I say that as a Zionist. Proud, but yeah.
Yeah, my sister used to drive a Jetta, and she had a friend, a Jew, who every time he got in the car and he heard the little do 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 that the car makes, he would go, "Kill the Jews, kill the Jews, kill the Jews." Volkswagen.
Yeah, it's funny. I've been thinking about buying a car, and I still just can't bring because I was looking at saw a couple Volkswagens, and it's just can't do that. Buy a German
can't buy a Mercedes. Not that you're in the price bracket for that one.
I drive too well to drive a Mercedes.
Well, Hitler didn't really design the Volkswagen. He just took credit from somebody else. Yeah.
Well, that's like Trump putting his name on a building. It's still Trump Tower. But yeah, I can't do it. Don't necessarily fault others. I had a good friend in college who does a lot of voice work for Mercedes, and he's not Jewish, but it's just like, no, there was a Mercedes ad that was running, I think earlier this year or last year, where you hear the voiceover. In the Mercedes factory, they had a sign that said, one thing, and I was thinking, kill the Jews every time.
Ich bin Freiheit, or whatever. The word called
Arbeit macht frei.
Arbeit macht frei. Student.
And why are we making fun of Germans? We're so racist.
I know. Why are we on this racist tangent?
I prefer to think of it not as making fun of Germans, but as that part of if you don't remember your history, you're doomed to repeat it. So this isn't making fun of Germans. It's just a little reminder so we don't have to go into repeats.
The Germans are very sensitive about that if you're ever in Germany.
They are.
You'll get in a fist fight.
Yeah, they're the ones who are butthurt over World War II.
They will punch you.
Yeah. Really?
Yes.
All right. Come on.
Twitter announced this week that they'll be killing Vine, much like the people who watched videos on Vine Industry Insider said, I really thought it would last longer. On the plus side, though, the site and app, which became popular for their 6-second videos, will still be around for a couple of weeks, so you still have enough time to catch up with all of the Vines that you missed, because they're only 6 seconds. Turning to science, a depressing new photo released this week shows the smoking crater left by a European spacecraft on Mars. After people called the photo depressing, the European Space Agency agreed to convince the crater to quit smoking. A new study released this week shows that the common swift can remain airborne for up to 10 months straight. The study found that the birds can also remain airborne for 10 months gay, but those months are much more festive. New research indicates people decorated with cave lion pelts, and it's believed they also hung signs outside their doors reading, if the cave is a-rockin', don't bother knocking. Scientists studied fossilized teeth from ancient humans to see what the teeth revealed about their diets. Not surprisingly, it turns out that most of them were on paleo. A new study says lying might be caused by the human brain, or maybe that's just what your brain wants you to think. In the world of sports, the New York Giants Josh Brown this week after learning he was so much more than just a kicker. Based on what he'd done to his ex-wife, he was also a puncher, a pusher, and an emotional abuser. Sad to hear that. Finally, Carl's not here, so we have to have some technical issues.
It's going to be so good, though, once it gets there.
A new study says cranberries don't cure urinary tract infections, so unless you get proper medical care, linger. The Cranberries. Big hit song, Linger.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Not worth the wait. I know.
Not worth the wait.
I am Dr. David Robinson. That was the week we were where we don't make the news. We just make it memorable. And there we go. Continuing on with our next segment. As always, we do have a burst of Durst from 5-time Emmy-nominated writer and comedian and gentleman extraordinaire Will Durst. Hey, Will.
Hey guys, Will Durst here with a few choice words about this exceptionally scary season and how lucky we are that voting day is not until November 8th, the first Tuesday after the first Monday of the month, prompting folks everywhere to ask why not the first Tuesday. The result of that odd predicate is that the 1st. Why? Well,